Hello, everyone. So, in this talk, we'll be covering IELTS speaking part two, its variety and its variation, and as well as I'm going to discuss that how you should prepare yourself and how examiner evaluate the part two. So, the basics of the part two is that it is followed by part one, which is the warm-up session. And in the warm-up session, you can see uh, that the part two is, a cue card topic, which is different from the part one, in which examiner will give you 1 minute to prepare yourself, and you are also given pencil and notes, key notes, so you can make notes if you want to. The next is what you are going to do is you have to prepare yourself within 1 minute, and then examiner will ask you. You have to give a short talk of 2 minutes. Uh, Sometimes it can go more than little more than 2 minutes, but make sure that examiner should stop you, not you should stop by yourself. And these cue card has that cue card has a two part. The first part is the topic description, and second part is the prompts which should be covered in your talk. So the first part is called describe a house or apartment that someone you know. It is an example from the test from book 11. Is describe a house or apartment that someone you know lives in. Okay. And the second part is the question, whose house is this, where this house is, what it looks like, explain what you like or dislike about this house. This needs to be covered in your own talk. Examiner should not have to ask you at the end any of these questions. If examiner is asking, which means that you have not covered. So the first part of this talk is pretty simple, that you need to know what your topic is, the description of the topic. The second part, which is very important at first, you should know that these questions must be answered in your speech. And I hope I'm clear about everything. I'm clear. So how to prepare yourself and what is the variety. So first we'll come to the variety of these different questions. So as you can see that describe a house that someone you know lives in. Now this is called the present. Okay, so if I annotate that, it will be considered as the topic which caters to the mostly present tense. Okay, so that's you must remember that this in this most of your talk, most of your language should be related to the present tense and something like that. Let's look for another topic if we can have, and then we can see if there is another variety, which is the second variety called past tense. 53. Here we go. We have another. Describe a writer you would like to meet. Now that's interesting. It is near future. So that's it's a different one. So it is the second variety. You can see that near future or future planning, something like that. So this is the second variety that you can see. Now next is, I'll tell you the reason that why I am, segregating these topics. So book 11 is a very good example of having different. Oh yes. So now within book 11, you can see the variety of the topics. This is the third variety. Describe a day when you thought weather was perfect. So it is perfectly presenting past. So remember one thing, that you should, by the description of the topic, you should learn that whether the topic is leading towards present, past, or future. We can further divide this topic. So these topics are different, and you only have one topic, but while preparing yourself, you should know that you are preparing for, preparing for different topics. Okay. So I'm going to start on the whiteboard. I'm going to tell you that how these topics are different from each other and what should do. So the first topic, if you remember, was describe a house or Describe in the first topic, we say describe a house or apartment someone lives in. Second topic is here was talk about an author you would like to meet. Third topic was describe the day you thought the weather was perfect. So now you can see these topics showing different variety. Now, what are the elements that as a student you should remember? Number one, this topic caters to present and it is describing place and it's more prominent. Talk about an author. It is near future, futuristic language or intentions, which is, and also it is talking about a person, describing a person. So these are the main features. And if we see this topic, you can see the sort of activity slash thing, a thing, and it is in the past. So why these things are important? Because they are related to your language. Your language should be in present, the present tense, the ongoing tense, and the place should be described in a way that it is a place. So your vocabulary is should be related to these place. Then we have future intention. So your language should reflect futuristic tone, which is important. Uh, that you should know that it should be talking about future views of will and might, or would be, or would, and this is the past. So you should know that what type of past is in a singular past, repeated past, or what. So that is the reason I ask my students to look at these things in a more in much broader manner, because this helps students learn that how they are going to evaluate their language. So here we have these three different topics. Now we have 1 minute. So within a quick span of time, you can ask, you can see that most of the house description is in present. Now the same thing happens that if this topic can be in the past as well. Describe a house or apartment someone apartment you visited and liked. Now that converted directly into the and you like. So that's a different story. Now that topic is different. Everybody should understand that now this has changed the dynamics of the topic. That is the reason I ask students to look at the topic really very well. Now this is the future. This could also be change. Now, if this talk about an author, you met. Author or writer, you met. You ever met, or any famous personality. Now, this also changed. So that's why, and these topics are there. So be careful when you look at the topic. Talk about the weather. It could be, in present as well. Describe the day. Describe the day you always find, or describe the day you describe the weather you always find perfect. Now you can see that the topics in part two can vary from past, present, or future. So you have to be very much careful about corresponding to these topics. Is it clear, Bushra, Hina, and Umer Ubab? You can use thumb impressions to let me know whether you are able to listen to me and understand. Okay. So why I ask you to look into first that what is, whether it is an activity, whether it's a person, whether it's a place, whether it's a thing to describe, it's because your language, your vocabulary highly depend, or it highly depends on what you are talking about. Number two, you have to understand whether they are past, present, or future, because it must be clear that what kind of grammar you are going to use. So that covers most, the part of your marking areas, and a lot of students find it difficult. So that's why I gave you the example like like that. So here we go. We are going to move now. What to do with this, and how these topics are different. So what am I going to? I'm going to show you another screen of mine, and you will find a lot of topics. And these are the topics that I've collected over the period of 20 years, 21 years that I've been teaching. And I used to ask my student what topic they receive, what question they had. So I started collecting those topics. So I think I have almost collected, because topics have been repeating many times. So in this file, I had a limitation of 120 topic, I think, or 80 topics. So I went for it. And then I have another 180 topics. So I'll share it with you. Oh, they are more than that. Yeah, this file is bigger. So you could find that these are the topics that I have already come across. My students have taken the test, and they came to me and they told me that, sir, this is the topic that I received. Some of the topics prompts are missing because they were just able to provide me with the topic that, sir, I could remember this is the topic. But with the help of my experience, I could say that what prompts might have had. For example, if we start from the first, describe a child that you know, who the child is, how you know the child, when you see the child, explain why you dislike or like the child. So it's as simple as that. Can you just tell me whether it's a past, present, or future? Just be quick. You can write in the chat, or you can tell me directly whether it's a past, present, or future. Mainly the topic is leading to past, present, and future. So Mehrubab says present, that's fine.
The past.
It's not past, Bushra. Check out the language.
Sir,
Describe a
why?
child you know. You knew nahi hai. And
Okay.
even prompts are also saying
Okay.
child is, how you know the child, when you see the child. So it should be careful when you are it's present, Hina. You're right. Okay, now next is
Okay.
sorry. Number two. Number two, describe someone who has had an important influence on your life, past, present, or future. If I may have the answer. Does it Should it be described in past, present, or future? It's mainly present, but it
The
is also
pre-
to, to past as well. but mainly it is present. It is leading to past because you already know the person, you have met the person, and there is one question leading you to share your past experience. How long have you known him? So mainly it's a present topic, but there is some part of it is the past. Okay. Number four. Number four. It's present. Yeah, it's present and past both. You're right, mainly present because you are going to describe a lake or river or sea that you often visit. You can share your experience, but mainly it's present. You're right, for sure. Uh, and number five, that's interesting. Be quick so that I can move to the next part of my talk, which is how to prepare yourself. It's the past.
सर क्या पूछा है आपने?
Can you tell me number five, topic number five, describe a present that you have given to someone?
अच्छा past.
It is the past. Okay, thank you. So you could see that there are topics related to moving towards more past, present, or future, and you can also see that you have to describe a place, either a person or personality or activity or the thing. It's like that. So even the anything that is living or non